Hi all, welcome to Show Studio's video series. I'm Show Studio Fashion Editor Georgina Evans and I'm joined by Junior Fashion Editor of Refinery 29, Georgia Marek. Thanks for coming in the car with me.
Thanks for having me.
So we're going to be talking about JW Anderson Spring Summer 20 Womenswear. Showed in the same space as last season, which is kind of in the square. It's called Yeoman's House in Holborn, near King's Cross. And as per usual, artist scene laid out in the space, much like he does with Loewe. And this was the Canadian artist called Liz Magor, or Magor, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, sorry Liz, which is beautiful kind of structures with ephemera, toys, kids and bits and bobs. She's known for sculptures with kind of odd, kind of mundane items, but these are really beautiful kind of headless teddies and things that have kind of been lost in the debris, which had a slight connection to the collection that we saw. But I always think with JW, you can either take it at face value and just kind of fall in love with the clothes, or you can try to unpick it. So I'm going to do my best to try to unpick it, but actually the collection was rather beautiful without narrative anyway. So JW was looking at the idea of silhouette, so really honing in on silhouette or drawing it right back out, and we saw that predominantly in almost a Balenciaga waistline on some of the jackets, but then made super duper boxy, Marie Antoinette style almost. Shoes were really flat and fantastic. I have no doubt they're going to go bananas, but they were kind of, John was saying backstage, the kind of idea of a shoe, so very very basic, stripped back, barely a toe frame there, and the styling is basically what was holding the shoe in place. So lots of wrapping around the ankle, super minute, but lots of gem details and straps. And actually there was lots of details and straps, bags on bags on bags and accessories, and the knit sort of came away in a thick flurry at the back on some of the looks too, but this idea of silhouettes, we've got boxy jackets and then honed right in on really slimline form-fitting dresses. Again, the silhouette was focused with these boob shapes. I'm not a breast sayer, so I'm going to say boob. Lots of jewellery diamante focus, and they were saying backstage that the idea of jewellery is thinking about jewellery, how we perceive it, and how would something look if it was just the jewellery there, or the jewellery was always the focus, or the silhouette, jewellery was the silhouette. So that's the idea behind these circular bosom frames, I'm going to describe them as, and they came in rope and silver, and they were completely detachable from the items. So sometimes they were focusing on the daisy print on the breasts, there you go, I said it, or sometimes they were just pulling a tight different silhouette to these slimline dresses. And that diamante detailing again was done in a hip slinger, and again in neck pieces, and again as a band across the chest. So it's almost like he's trying to draw your eye to these sensual points on the body. I always think that JW's got this formula that seems to work. Have a beautiful artist in the space, have wonderful clothes and textures, and there's always fantastic accessories and something for the eye to focus on. And I'm wondering if I always think JW reviews tend to be a little bit difficult. I'm going to pull you in here to help me out, because they're formulaic in their success, and they always tend to be beautiful. They're always fantastic styling, beautiful clothes. The music by Michelle Gobert is always wonderful as well, but I can't really say more than that. It's just kind of wonderful in its existence. Everyone loves it. Everyone's going to wear it. It's going to look fantastic in store as well. So I don't really know how to unpick JW more than just that it's so essential to the schedule, but everyone undoubtedly loves it, and it has reached this kind of level of fantastic success where JW can play with these formulas and these ideas, but actually take the collection at face value, and it's still going to win, if that makes any sense.
For sure, I totally agree in that it's just clothes women want to wear, no matter their age, no matter their kind of, I don't know, whether they can afford it or not. It's just beautiful clothes that you would also be able to wear every day, and it's kind of hard to see beyond that. But I think what keeps us on our toes every season is that he has such a aesthetic DNA that we all recognise, whether it's kind of a celebration of arts and crafts or more sophisticated basics like the trench coats that he brings back every season. But what furthers it and stops it from becoming stuck in its ways, I guess, is that he surprises us with these small elements every season. And I think for me this season was the diamantes and the like you said, kind of drawing to these really typically sexy parts of a woman, whether it's their boobs, not a breast here either, or the waistline, and that's taking something. I mean, it was noughties essentially in the kind of like cutout of the waist and the like underlining, almost like corsetry. But without being over sexualized or garish or anything like that. Another thing that I really liked, you talking about the shoes kind of being the idea of a shoe. Last season, what I loved about the models walking on this really thick piled carpet, and it was meant to be like cloud-like. And this season, it seemed like the shoes, in their kind of deconstructed sense, were again something just. It's almost like last season it was the set itself, and this season it was the shoes. They were just there to hold up the rest of the outfit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And we were kind of not supposed. Our eyes weren't meant to necessarily be drawn to those things, but rather what was walking on top of it.
Yeah. It's kind of, you got drawn in by a little bit of a jewel on the ankle, and then suddenly you're like, oh, there's the trouser that's tied in. Oh, here I am at the boobs with the glitter, and I'm suckered in. And
actually something that I absolutely loved was, obviously everyone is buying that amazing trench coat with the huge balloon sleeves and the check lining, but this season a similar silhouette was bought, but rather than kind of altering the colour or the fabrication or anything like that, he's slashed down the line of the arm so that when the model was moving, that balloon effect was kind of taking place by itself, which I thought was just so smart and a really exciting way to kind of develop the key piece from last season without feeling tired.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it was on that jacket that there was kind of jewellery reimagined again with these big circly. Actually, circles have been a real theme. Like a jewelled circle stamped on each. Not quite hem, just the base of each coat. Again, kind of drawing that eye to exactly what you're talking about, being like, don't forget to pay attention to this. It's almost like he's guiding us on this little journey, being like, have a look at this, take your eye here. What do you like about this? Oh, he's clever.
What was your favourite look?
My favourite look was the double daisy boobs with the silver diamante detailing, and then it just flowed down, but it wasn't. No, there was one that was daisy, and the one I really liked was almost Grecian. It was white and then really tight around the body, but then made even tighter with the kind of suctioning of this boob plate, and then flowed, and then there was a black trouser underneath, which was then tucked into those Grecian sandals. I'm going to call them Grecian just because of the ties, but not for aesthetic.
And I love that as a styling trick to kind of bring silhouette both to the ankle, but also the trousers themselves. It kind of brings a different shape to them when they're tied up like that. Yeah,
it's something I definitely think we can see being replicated, and actually that's probably why JW is such an important designer on the schedule, because that is ultimately one of the brands where the high street's going to pull from. So it's so important that we're versed in JW in this show, because ultimately that's what's going to be in Zara.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of, I think there's 2 mini sundresses. That's all everyone will be wearing next season.
Absolutely.
They were adorable.
100%.
With a simple sandal, were they paired with? I can't remember if they were paired with the Grecian sandals as well or not.
I don't know if they were actually.
They were almost like a knitted, kind of iridescent, one in lilac and one in yellow, I think. And they were just so simple. Throw it on and go. That's exactly like you said, such a example of where that will be replicated the world over, I think.
The world over. Me too, I'd like one too.
Yes, please. But for me it was the gold and black suit. It was Bowie meets Mick Jagger meets Bianca Jagger. I died at that, and then I think that walking to the Smashing Pumpkins soundtrack was just my idea of heaven. I loved that.
Smitten kitten there. Yeah, that was good. Well, in case you can't tell, I think we enjoyed it very much.
Yeah, loved it.
Very successful show from JW, as per usual. Thank you so much for coming in the car with me, Georgia. I really
Thank you for having me.
If you are watching via YouTube, make sure to comment, subscribe. Let us know if you agree. Let us know what your favourite look is, if you went for Grecian or gold. And make sure to visit Show Studio so you can see all of our amazing coverage alongside this review as well. And we'll see you guys very soon.